Kingdom Hearts VCast is full of interesting game design, but after being lost for 2 decades, many of the finer details have faded into obscurity. In this 3-part miniseries, I'm going to take you through some of the non-boss encounters that make Kingdom Hearts VCast shine. This is part 3, dedicated to the single most difficult wave of enemies in the entire series, the Immortal Shadows. It might sound ridiculous to name a group of shadows as one of the toughest fights in 20 years of games, but the numbers are on my side. Let me set the stage. These shadows are encountered in Maleficent's castle, the final world of the game. I'll be generous and assume that Sora is fully leveled up, which isn't quite realistic. At max level, Sora has 8 HP, 4 strength, and 4 defense. For every shadow we've encountered so far, 4 strength is enough to slay them in one hit. But if we try to take a swing at these shadows, it doesn't even show up on their HP bar. That's because they have 500 HP. 500! For reference, the final boss of the game has 60 HP. It would take us 125 hits just to take down one of these shadows. But of course, there isn't just one of these shadows on the field. For context, in every battle from the combat tutorial to Maleficent's front door, Heartless spawn in waves of 3 or fewer. Now, in Kingdom Hearts VCast, only 1 or 2 enemies can be loaded in at a time, so a wave of 3 bandits actually means 3 bandits one after another. But the point is, for the entire game, we've been conditioned to expect 1 to 3 enemies per wave. These impossibly strong shadows have a wave size of 10. That's a total of 5,000 HP between them, over 83 times more than the final boss. On average, it takes about 3.5 seconds between Keyblade swings when factoring the enemy's invulnerability frames. Multiply that by 125 hits per shadow for 10 shadows, and this entire wave will take about an hour and 13 minutes to defeat. And remember, this is assuming Sora is fully leveled up. Now, you're not just button mashing for 73 minutes, that would be too easy. You have to constantly time your Keyblade tricks to preempt the Shadow's attacks, since you cannot afford to get hit. In addition to being the healthiest enemies in the game, these Shadows are also the strongest, being able to take down Sora in 4 hits. The strength of a single Shadow is nearly double that of Maleficent's most powerful attack. To say that these Shadows are overpowered would be an understatement. To top it off, even if you do kill all 10 Shadows, they will respawn the next time you enter the room. And unlike other enemy waves, which have a limit to how many times they will come back, these shadows will just keep returning forever. Even if you do go through the effort to clear out a group of shadows, you'll get 0 experience points for your troubles. So what gives? Why on earth would these random shadows be so incomprehensibly strong? The reason is that you're never supposed to fight these shadows, at least not for more than a few seconds. This whole encounter is preceded by a cutscene with Maleficent. In this scene, Maleficent steals all of the magic from the Keyblade, it's a long story, and summons the shadows to dispatch Sora. When you regain control of your character, the natural response is to fight the shadows in front of you, but you'll quickly discover that you can no longer cast magic spells. Moreover, these enemies that you have been killing with ease for the past 2 hours suddenly become strong enough to knock you out in a few hits, and your attacks don't seem to be doing any damage at all. The whole point of the encounter is to show how weak Sora is without the Keyblade's power, signaling to the player that they need to restore its magic before they can proceed. This is, in my opinion, fantastic game design. Instead of using dialogue to tell the player that they need to backtrack to power up the Keyblade, this lets them experience firsthand how powerless they are and encourages them to explore to find a solution. It's a classic show not tell situation. The reason I admire this encounter so much is that the developers were able to communicate this message with incredibly limited tools. When Sora's power got taken away, they didn't have the ability to temporarily lower his strength or HP, so instead they cranked up the Shadow's stats to make Sora appear weaker. Sure, I can use my knowledge of the game to show just how ridiculous these numbers are, but from the perspective of a first-time player, it really feels like Sora lost his ability to fight even the most basic enemy. In the end, the Keyblade's strength is restored, and the Immortal Shadows are replaced by enemies with normal stats. Sora is once again in control of the Keyblade, able to shred Heartless without a second thought. And that wraps up the fight with Maleficent's Immortal Shadows. In my opinion, this encounter is a microcosm of the game design of Kingdom Hearts VCast, an ambitious attempt to create rewarding scenarios with extremely limited resources. I would say that they succeeded in crafting a memorable encounter, all things considered. My heart goes out to anyone who had this game as a kid and earnestly tried to kill the shadows, since I'm sure there's at least one poor sap out there. I hope you enjoyed learning more about this forgotten relic of a game, and I'll see you back next month for something of a bit grander scale. Long live VCast.